Welcome to part 4 on this McCormack amplifier. Yes, it's a long journey. On part 3 I changed already transistors, MOSFET, FETs around here, these power supplies, and we test them and they was working how should. So now it's time to install it on the amplifier, connect all the wires and see if it's working how should. I already soldered the jumpers here that transfer the power to the other side of the board, where we have present a protection circuit over here which combine these three ICs with these relays and bunch of diodes, resistors. Then we have a driving stage for the left channel, driving stage for the right channel, input signal on this one, ground and signal. And yeah, let me bring the amplifier, let me connect everything and run a test. And on my previous video I built this dim bulb, like that it will gonna be handy now to test the amplifier. So without further ado, let's begin. So I connected everything, so all the connectors are in. I needed just to solder this wire over there and the solder wire that goes to the connector over here. Really sorry I cannot bring more image on the screen because this is the maximum zoom out that my camera can do. Maybe I can do more, but I need to put the camera more up. So yeah, dim bulb is attached. I can see here is powered through the dim bulb. And let's turn on, see what's happening. So it's going bright and then it's going a bit dim, and it still lights in on because this amplifier is drawing lots of power because definitely is biased high. So while we are here, let's measure a bit the voltage on the output. So let's see, we don't need to have any voltage present on the output. So you can see it's going down because the DC servo is working perfectly, so it will gonna try to stabilize in 0. Let's see the other channel. So our channel, same, it's going almost, is 1 millivolt, almost 2 millivolts, and I think it's perfect. So it's still dim bulb. So let me put the second bulb on. So now with 2 bulbs we're gonna be more current dumped into the amplifier. With only 1 bulb was less current dumped in the amplifier. So let's turn on, let's see now. So you can see now is very dim, our lights, or barely you can see the dimming, because now allowed more current to come into the amplifier. So let me connect some speakers and put a signal on and to see if it's actually working. So I connected a pair of speakers, also input signal. This is the cable that comes to my mobile phone here, which I have some YouTube non-copyrighted song. So let's turn on. So go bright and then dim, and let's try to play a song. And no output, there is no signal, no nothing. Right, so here I can show you that there is a music. Right, what can be wrong? So I'm going to measure the voltages that I measured on the previous video to make sure that they are present. So where to have a ground, this one is a ground over there, so we have a ground. Let's measure our negative 15 over here, and it's present. Let's measure the positive 15 over here, and it's present. Let's measuring the regulated voltage positive, which is on this point over here, and we have 60 volts positive, which is correct. So let's have a look the negative side of the voltage over here, and we have negative 61 volts, which is correct. So the voltages are working good. Let's see the power supply on the power stage. So we have this one positive 50 volts, let's say. Let's see the negative side, negative 50. So one channel is correct. Let's see the other channel. So we have 50 negative. Let's see the positive, 50 positive. So all the voltages are working correctly. So all the voltages are present and working good. There is no short in components, there is no short on this amplifier. So what can be wrong that is not working? Let me know in the comment down below if you have any idea. Alright, so I'm going to take out the board to investigate further to understand what's going on, why there is no sound coming out from this amplifier, because everything is correctly working how should. So go light and then dim, so this means there is no overcurrent drawing by this amplifier. So I need to investigate more this board. Alright, so with the board again on the table, let's see what's going on, why there is no output signal on this amplifier. So we're gonna start with the input. So this is our input, and these are the grounds. So I notice that the input goes passing through these resistors, and after this resistor go to this relay, which the other side of the contact is ground. Same here, the other channel doing the same. And looks like these three IC are controlling these relays. So what these three IC are doing, because you can see here there is two sockets, so these two sockets are the power supply that comes to the power stage. So we have between this pin to this pin around 130 volts, same as here, and then against the ground we have half of each, right? So 65 volts and 65 volts. And these ICs are checking to see the voltage, if it's correct, balanced between these two pins, and once that voltage is correct, then disengage the relay, let the signal pass to our amplifier instead to cut it down to ground. So if the problem with this amplifier was happening with that was set to 120 volts and powered to 240 volts on these pins for a couple of milliseconds, definitely was present double the voltage, so 260 volts, something like that. And I'm pretty sure these one are gone. Yeah, I should buy new ICs and try to put them. But how I mentioned in previous video that this board is really badly, as soon you hit up a trace, is coming off like butter. So I'm not taking that one. Anyway, this circuit is kind of protection, but what protects? Doesn't protect your speakers. Protect the input to put it to ground, and I don't understand why. So I think the designer, what he did here, put this protection, whatever it's called, is just, you know, you turn on the amplifier, and when before you connecting all the connects, to make sure that you have the signal connectors plugged in, the RCAs and the speaker connector, and then let the signal pass in, to avoid that nasty noise, you know, when the amplifier is on and you play with the connectors at the back, the RCAs, that hum and noises, because you are disconnecting and connecting signal on the input, and because this one doesn't have a volume potentiometer, so the signal will gonna be maximum dumped on the speakers. So I think that's why this circuit is here. So for me it's kind of useless. I can bypass it to see if the amplifier actually work, and then anyway we decide to install a speaker protection, because better to protect the speakers than this input. And the speaker protection, they have a delay or few seconds when you turn on and then activate the speakers. So in order to bypass that circuit, I'm going to cut the power off and the signal off that goes inside of this circuit. So first I'm gonna follow the traces for the negative. So this is our negative, so we know that goes to this pin and then goes here. Should go also to this IC somewhere. So let's find the pin of this IC. Where are you? Should be also here a negative coming in. So we need to figure out which one is. So here is our negative also, and should be also here a negative that goes. See, our negative is there. Then let's see also the positive. So should come a positive around this IC, so you can see positive goes there. I should have also this IC the same, a positive but coming somewhere. So let me put this and check with this one. So I can see here is coming the positive, And let's see also this IC. See, also this IC is getting power. Okay, so then we have the signal, which is this one, and as I say, passing through this resistor, and from this resistor goes to our relay. Here is our relay, and I can see the other pin goes between this one and this one. This one is ground, so you can see it's cutting the signal to ground. Same as here, signal is this point over here, the resistor, and from here, no, the resistor is this one, so this is the line, comes here, same to our relay, and this one is the same ground, and cut the signal. So we're gonna cut that through traces. I'm gonna make sure that there is no any more continuity path from the power from the signal. Put it back on our amplifier, and let's see if anything changes. Alright, so I did some cuts, so let's have a look. So this is our negative, and there is no more power coming to any of this IC. Right, this is our positive over here, and same, no more power coming to our ICs. This is our signal input, that there is no more path over there because I did a small cut over there. Same like ours, the other signal, there is no more path to the relay because it's just over there. You can see it will gonna beep over here and not to the relay because I did also their cut. So I made a small cut over here, a small cut over here, small cut over here, and small cut over there. Let me put again the board inside the amplifier, power to the dim bulb, see what is happening. So everything is connected in place, and I just need to turn on. Let's turn on to see what's happening. So goes bright and then dim, which is a good sign. And then I'm gonna play a video from my YouTube channel, like that, to avoid copyright. So let's play the last video which I uploaded last time about the dim bulb, like that you can see that how useful it is. So let's increase the volume. This McCormack amplifier is quite difficult to test it because has 3 different power supplies. So in this case, to limit the current separately, I need 3 bench power supplies. So how you can see, it's working perfect, bypassing that protection circuit. I also read some forums about these amplifiers, and I saw lots of people that they own this kind of amplifier. They are complaining about this protection circuit. Some of them, they say that it's kicking in, kicking out, kicking in, kicking out, so it's like intermittent sound on the speakers. Some of them, they say that same like this one, staying continuously protecting mode, but what protect, no one knows, because it's just cutting the input signal. It's not protecting your speakers. Which, let's see, you have very expensive speakers, and happening that is blowing one of the side of the power transistors. Imagine all the 60 volts were gonna be dumped to your speaker, and bye bye expensive speakers. Alright, so working good through the dim bulb. So I'm confident that now I can also power straight away from the main. So you can see I take off the full power from the dim bulb, so dim bulb now is not in the circuit. Let's turn on, and now you can see it's on. Everything is working fine. The LEDs lights up because those one are limiting the right current for the driving stage, and that indicate that is working perfectly. And if I play my video, this McCormack amplifier still working fine. This McCormack amplifier is quite difficult to test it because has 3 different power supplies. So in this case, to limit the current separately, I need 3 bench power supplies and not a normal power supply. So I'm gonna say we have a fix. So we fixed this amplifier right now. I'm happy, working fine, but still there is things to work on it. So we're gonna go to install a speaker protection circuit, something like this one, but not exactly this one. We shall decide to install a different one. So then also we shall decide that we're gonna change this filter capacitor on the power supply, some of the capacitor also on this board, because are quite old. Imagine this amplifier is built long time ago, and capacitors, electrolytic, they do, especially this one that are there and handling a high ripple, so they tend to go high in ESR and not doing the right job that they should do. So that's why we are going to change those ones. And I'm going to do a big shout out for my members, because I gained few of them new ones. So we have Machko Mikusik, we have Nazara Bubakar, we have 71 Space Boy, we have Pekatonics, we have Grandpa's Bench, we have Laptop Fix, J Fix, and Rusty Rose Repair. Thank you so much, guys, supporting me, and I really appreciate that, and hope you are learning something from my experience and from my knowledge on electronics. And thank you so much for all subscribers, I really appreciate. So I'll not go to do any oscilloscope test on it to see the power in this one, because still we need to work on, as I mentioned, we need to install this protection speaker protection circuit, we need to change this capacitor, so it will gonna definitely be another video part on this one when I will gonna actually put the lid and fix everything in place. And if you have an amplifier like this one and do the same issues like intermittent protecting mode or stay only in protect mode, try to do the same modification which I did on this one, and you're gonna see that your amplifier is working perfectly, because this circuit is a bit not right made. There is a little bit of issues, I'm not going now into details, but yeah, if you have an amplifier like this one and has a problem with the protect mode, do the modification what I did, and you're gonna see that your amplifier is working perfectly. If you enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to give me a like, and please subscribe and activate the notification bell to don't miss my next parts and other projects. And if you like to know all the tools which I use daily on my working bench and I'm happy how they working for me, check the links on the description down below. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find something useful also for you. Until the next one, guys, have a good one, and bye bye.